Good morning, girls. In today's class, we are going to see emotional intelligence. So, what is emotional intelligence? So, before we see the characteristic, the branches, or how to become emotionally intelligent, what is the meaning of emotional intelligence? Okay, so emotional intelligence is nothing but the ability to understand, accept, and recognize our own emotions and feelings. Okay, I repeat, emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, accept, and recognize our own emotions and feelings, including their impact on ourselves and others. Okay, and to use this knowledge to improve our own behaviors as well as to manage and improve our relationship with others. Okay, so there is a definition which is given in your textbook. You'll want to, if you'll want to, you can go through. Okay, in simple words, what is emotional intelligence? See, emotional intelligence is nothing but it is an ability to understand your own emotions, girls. So, what is emotions? So, emotions are nothing but your feelings. Okay, that which is derived from your own circumstance or situation. Okay, your mood, or your relationship with others. Okay, so emotion is nothing but a feeling. All right, and you need to intelligently regulate your emotions. So you cannot like get too emotional at times, and I would rather say it's not good for you to never get emotional. You need to get emotional, but at the same time, like you need to get emotional by getting angry, by getting sad, by becoming very joyful. Yes, emotions are very important for a human being, but then where you have to express your emotions and where you should not express your emotions, and also where you should control your emotions. So that is something which is very, very important. One thing, emotional intelligence is something which is very, very important. You should know how to control your emotions and how to channelize your emotions. If you are lacking the control of your emotions, if you do not have intelligence of controlling your emotions, then that is going to lead to an unsuccessful life. Okay, so it is said that even if you have you know a good IQ, intelligence quotient, okay, or even if you are academically very good, okay, in fact if you are excellent in your academic, still you cannot be successful unless and until you have emotional intelligence in you. Okay, unless and until you have some kind of control over your emotions. All right, see, it is nothing but the ability to understand your emotions and accept it. Okay, you are emotional, you have to understand it and you have to accept that and recognize that you are going through these kind of feelings and emotions in you. On the other hand, you should also find out what kind of an impact it can bring on you and the other people who are in relationship with you. Okay, so try to use the intelligence, okay, to improve your own behavior as well as manage others' behaviors with you in a relationship. So this is what is called as emotional intelligence. Is that clear? So this is very, very important. Like I said, in all kinds of jobs, even if you are a person with more than 90% IQ, and if you are a person with good technical skills, and if you are a person with good academic records, even then you cannot get successful in a profession unless and until you have emotional intelligence. So, emotional intelligence is very, very important. So, this topic is trying to teach you all how to be emotionally intelligent. Okay, and it is going to teach you what are the characteristics of an emotional intelligence, what are the branches, and how to become emotionally intelligent, and also it's going to teach you certain skills to become emotionally intelligent. Okay, so let's get into the details of the topic. So, the first topic is characteristics of emotional intelligence. Okay, so what are the characteristics? First thing is self awareness. Okay, so what is the self awareness about emotional intelligence? So it is nothing but it is an ability to recognize and understand the personal moods and emotions and drives. Okay, so self awareness is nothing but it is one's own ability, okay, to monitor one's own emotions, state, and correctly identify and name one's emotion. First, become self aware. Okay, if you are emotionally intelligent, I mean, if you are going through some kind of an emotion, so what kind of an emotion it is? Okay, so what kind of effect it can bring on others? And you have to become aware that these kind of emotions are in you and accept those emotions. So name those emotions. Fine. You need to find out in yourself that these are the emotions that say. See, certain people are very emotional, like sometimes even when we watch a movie or a soap, we get emotional knowing that it is something which is not a reality. It is just a pretendance, it's just an acting. But still, we get emotional. So, become aware that you can get emotional when you are in such kind of a situation or circumstance. Okay, so not everywhere you have to, like show that you are, having such kind of an emotion and cry and show your weakness. So, firstly, become self aware, okay, that this kind of an emotion is in you. Do you understand? The next one is self regulation. Okay, you can see the next characteristics, that is self regulation. Okay, so for self regulation is all about controlling and redirecting your moods. So now you are self aware that you are monitored. This is what is your moods, or this is what is your emotion. Okay, these are all the kinds of emotions that's there in you. Now you need to regulate those emotions. You have to control them. Okay, you have to control those emotions. So self regulation is all about the ability to control an emotion or a mood. Think before you act. Okay, so you need to always think whether it is going to be a laughter, whether you're very joyful, or whether you're going to be very sad. You should think twice before you express your emotions to others. Okay, so if you are having a bad mood in the office, you cannot come and express that at home. Okay, or if you had a fight with your friend, you cannot come back home and express that with your people at home. Or if you have a fight at home, you cannot go and express that with your colleagues. Do you understand? So you need to have some sort of self regulation, control and redirect your emotions. Next one, internal motivation. Okay, so see, sometimes beyond your emotions, there is some kind of a passion towards work and joy and curiosity. See, what I'm trying to say here is, if you are, like I told you in the previous example, if you are moody, okay, at home, you had some kind of a misunderstanding or some kind of a shoutings at home, okay, and if you have to go back to your office, okay, there you might find some kind of an internal motivation to change your emotional state. Okay, so if you love your job more, or if you have some kind of a joy and curiosity, okay, in that particular job, now you can try to you know change yourself by being in such kind of situation or circumstance. Do you understand? So once you get back to your work, you're supposed to keep back all your emotions, and you're supposed to concentrate on your work and show the passion towards your work, and you know show the joy towards your work. Okay, the next one is empathy. So empathy is another important characteristic of emotional intelligence. Understand the emotional makeup of other people. Okay, so what is empathy? Empathy is nothing but putting yourself in others' shoes. When you have your own emotional states, okay, so you are self aware that you have such kind of emotions in you. And I'm not saying you should not be expressing your emotions, you should be expressing your emotions. And okay, so what are the effects that your emotional state can create on you. In the similar way, others also have their own emotions. So put yourself in others' shoes and understand that others can also get emotional at times. Do you understand? So others can also have a situation or circumstance in which they are coming, and they also have a lot of what to say moods and emotions that which they might express. Okay, so it is empathy is all about the ability to understand others emotions, okay, and treat people according to their emotions. If you are a boss and you know your subordinate is in a bad mood, okay, so you cannot go on irritating him more and like trying to boss him more, dominate him more, insult him and get him more emotional. Okay, the next one is a social skill. So social skill is nothing but uh, managing relationships and building networks. Okay, so with all these emotional states, you're also supposed to manage your social skills. So your social skills are all about social relationships that you have, be it in an office, be it at home, be it with your peer group, your colleagues, or your friends. Okay, you need to have some kind of a social skill, okay, in expressing your emotions. It should not create some kind of an effect, okay, on others and spoil relationships. You need to manage the relationships and build the networks. Is that clear? So these are the various characteristics of emotional intelligence. Okay, so the next topic that we are going to see is four branches of emotional intelligence. Okay, so what are the four different branches? Okay, so where you can see your emotional intelligence. So first thing is to perceive emotions. Okay, to perceive the emotions. So what's the meaning of perceiving? Perceiving is to become aware, is to become conscious and realize what your emotions are. Okay, so the first step in understanding your emotions is to perceive them, to become conscious of them, to become aware of them. Okay, so this might involve understanding non-verbal signals, like for example your body language, your facial expressions. Now supposing you are you are in a particular emotional state. Now you need to understand what emotional state you are in. Now even if you try to hide your emotions, sometimes your body language will express it, your facial expressions. So obviously you have some thoughts running in your mind, and like if somebody's talking to you, and if you're tensed, if you have an some if you're in some kind of an emotional state, the other person can clearly read your mind. Okay, I mean, like, read your body language. Even though he cannot read your mind, I'm sorry, he can read your body language. Your facial expression shows that you're not interested in whatever is getting conversed between you and that other person, or you are somewhere lost. Do you understand? Similarly, from the other side, okay, so even if you are with a person who is emotionally low, you can also understand by his body language or her body language or facial expression that the person is not really okay. Okay, so the one of the important branch of your emotional intelligence is to perceive the emotions of yourself and of others. Next one, reasoning with emotions. Okay, so try to find out the reason why this particular emotional state you are in, or why the other person is in that particular emotional state. Okay, so after you have perceived the emotion, become conscious of, the next step is to use your prompt thinking. Okay, and find out the emotions and help prioritize what you can pay attention to and what you can react to. Okay, so you have to respond to your emotions, isn't it? So why this emotion has come to you, so what has gained this particular, for example, if the other person, okay, is trying to be little rude to you, you should find out from that, I mean, as to what exactly is the reason for that person to become so emotional with you. Okay, show is rudeness or show is anger on you. Okay, so what is the reason for it? So that is what is called as reasoning with emotions. Next one is understanding emotions. So if someone, like I told you, is expressing anger on you, try to understand why that person is showing anger on you. Okay, if it's your boss, probably he is not happy with the job that you did, the work that you have done. So probably he is being rude to you, he's being, he's shouting at you. So understand why that emotion is being expressed to you. Okay, so then you would be able to. All right. And one more thing, even if your boss is angry, if the boss is shouted at you, you cannot get back home and show that anger on your wife or your husband. Do you understand? So understand your emotions. The next one is manage your emotions. Okay, manage your emotions. So managing is all about regulating, girls. Okay, so have some kind of do's and don'ts for your emotions. Respond to it appropriately, and also respond to others' emotions. That is also important. But then manage it, regulate it, control your emotion. Even though you know your boss is yelling at you, and you too want to express some kind of an anger, but you cannot. You should not be. Okay, try to control your emotions. Similarly, your boss is shouting at you. You cannot come back home and show your anger on your children. You cannot come and show your anger on your friends or your colleagues or at home to your parents. Do you understand? So that is also something which is very important. Manage and regulate your emotions. So that is about the four branches of emotional intelligence. Now the next thing that we are going to see is how to become emotionally intelligent. Okay, so let's see how to become emotionally intelligent. Okay, first thing is identify the real reason for your emotions instead of blaming others. Okay, see, I've always told you whatever you do, whatever you have become, okay, it is all because of yourself. Okay, you should not play the blame game. Okay, so whatever it is your own responsibility. All right, so emotions are also your own responsibilities. So, like I told you, the first thing that you should be doing, okay, to become emotionally intelligent is learn how to identify the real reason for your emotions instead of blaming others. Okay, so what is the reason? Why have you become, so emotional? What is the reason for your emotions? So that has to be found out first. Okay, so after you find out, next thing is handle your emotion in an intelligent way. Okay, handle your emotion in an intelligent way. See, knowing that your manager is angry with you, okay, or your friend is angry with you, you should not if you had a fight with you, you should prevent yourself from shouting at somebody else. Do you understand? You should prevent yourself from exhibiting your emotions on others. That was an emotional state between you and your manager or you and your friend. But you're not supposed to go and, like show that on others. Then you get too silly. People will not maintain a good relationship with you. The interpersonal relationships will spoil. Do you understand? The next one, channel your emotions in such a way that it doesn't harm you or the people around you. Okay, so you need to channelize that and like redirect your emotions in such a way that it's not going to hurt others who are around you. So be it your family, your colleagues, your peer, okay, whoever is around you, it shouldn't hurt them, it shouldn't harm them, it should create an effect on them. Like I told you, it can spoil your interpersonal relationship between you and that other person. Okay, and like I told you, all these smarter people cannot also achieve success in their professional life or in their personal life, okay, if they are not going to be emotionally intelligent. See, for example, in your own, in your professional life, if you don't have the emotional intelligence, now if you are going to react to whatever your boss is shouting or going to show that emotional state on others, it's going to spoil the interpersonal relationship there. And I always told you, without a proper interpersonal relationship, you cannot have a pleasant environment to work in. Okay, so that way you cannot be successful. So that's going to lead a way out where you are going to leave the job, and it's going to create so much of ruckus in your life. All right, so that is where you need to have some kind of control, right? Even in your personal life, you cannot get too emotional and not have any kind of control over your emotions and shout at people and have some kind of chaoses and indifferences and misunderstandings and other things that can also spoil relationships, and there you cannot also have a successful personal life. Do you understand? So therefore, you need to become emotionally intelligent by first identifying what your emotions are. After identifying, you need to know how to handle your emotions, and then you need to channel them or redirect them properly and not show it on others, so that you are going to be a smart person to become a successful person in life. Okay, so this is how to become emotionally intelligent. So we will see the next topic. Okay, so in emotional intelligence affects. Okay, how can emotional intelligence affect you? So first thing is, emotional intelligence can affect your performance at work. Okay, so your performance at work will definitely be, you know, affected in case you do not have proper emotional intelligence. As in, emotional intelligence can, lead to lot of complexity. I mean, if you do not have emotional intelligence, it can lead to a lot of complexities in workplace. Like I told you, misunderstandings, chaoses, okay, and not having a pleasant work environment. All this, it will lead to a lot of demotivation to others. All right, and it will not enable you to excel your career. So therefore, you need to have emotional intelligence, so that it will enable you to solve all your complexities at workplace and motivate others, okay, in order to excel in your career. All right, so it is very very important to be emotionally intelligent than being smarter by having technical skills or abilities, or rather IQs. Okay, the next one is, it can also affect your physical health. Okay, yes, if you are not going to be intelligent, emotionally intelligent, it can also affect your physical health. Okay, so here are a few things that you would really be surprised, that if you are not going to be emotionally intelligent, it's going to affect your health in a serious way. So let's look into what are the health effects it can create. Okay, so one thing is, it can, like too much of stress, uncontrolled emotions can cause a lot of blood pressure, and that can suppress your immune system. Okay, your body's capacity to fight infections, and it can increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes, and it can also contribute to infertility. Okay, and it will speed up the process of aging. So therefore, you need to have to relieve your stress and be emotionally intelligent in order to have a better physical health. Okay, so can you imagine how much of health hazards can be created? Okay, if you are not going to have a control on your emotions, and if you are going to be too much stressed. Okay, and the next effect will be on your mental health. Okay, not only a physical health is not only a physical health is affected, but also your mental health is affected. So an uncontrolled stress, okay, can create a lot of impact on your mental health. It can make you more anxiety, and create a lot of depression in you, and that can, uh, break up relationships, if you are, becoming more anxiety. Okay, if you have a lot of mood swings, this will make you more lonely and isolated if relationships break, and then lead to depressions and other things. Okay, and next effect, it will be on your relationships. So if by understanding your emotions and how to control them, you will be able to better express your feelings to others, your moods to others. Okay, so this will help you, to have a stronger relationship if you have control over your emotions. Otherwise, I told you, right? So if you are not going to have any control over your emotions, if you will always get angry and shout at people, and show your mood swings often, and people would not like to be with you, and sometimes relationships can break and lead to a lot of personal what to say effects on you. Do you understand? So these are the effects that emotional intelligence can create, girls. So if you are emotionally intelligent, you can have a better workplace. Okay, you can perform well at your work. You can also have a good physical health. You can have good mental health, and also maintain good relationships. Okay. So next thing is very very important. Okay, how to learn the skills that can build your emotional intelligence. So the various skills that will help you build your emotional intelligence. Okay, so if today just like introspect yourself, and if you are not emotionally intelligent, try to inculcate that skill in you. Okay, so these particular skills will help you, okay, in inculcating the emotional intelligence in yourself. Okay, so let's see what are those skills. We have 5 skills that which if you are going to impart in yourself, okay, so you would be able to become emotionally intelligent. First one is rapidly reduce the stress in the moment. So stress is one of the main reasons for you to become emotional often. Okay, so you need to relieve yourself from stress. How to relieve yourself from stress? Okay, so one thing that you can do is stress bust. Okay, so you have to stress bust. You can use certain stress busting techniques in order to reduce the stress. So first thing is realize when you're stressed. Okay, so like sometimes you might when you're going to feel stressed, sometimes you might feel that you have a lot of headache. Okay, after a day's work, if you are having a heavy headache, probably you're stressed. Or sometimes other kind of bodily feelings like having breathlessness. Okay, so stomach tightened, or a sore stomach. Okay, or rather if you are physically like very tensed, so all of these are all certain like symptoms that you're stressed, girls. So first realize that you're stressed. If you are having these kind of symptoms, then identify your stress response. Okay, what you can do is you need to this stress can make you react in different ways. Like it can make you become angry, it can make you become agitated and arguing with others and getting angry on others, and like having some kind of chaos with others and all that. Okay, so what do you do, okay, to relieve the stress? First thing is sit down quietly. Okay, like sometimes even you might be you might feel very depressed, withdrawn. Okay, so even at such situations, freeze yourself. Okay, relax, sit down and comfort yourself. All right, then discover the stress busting technique that can work for you. See, stress busting can work through various senses, through sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, anything. For some people, sound can relieve stress. Like for example, listening to music. Okay, so at such situations when you feel you're really stressed, listen to music. Okay, then one more thing is some people, like for them, the stress busting would be in taste, eating. Okay, so go eat a good food, the food that you love when you're stressed. Your stress will reduce. For some people it could be your eyes. So watch a good movie. Watch a good movie. Okay, or rather go and to an environment where it's really relaxed, it's fully greenery, and relax yourself. So like this. Okay, realize when you're stressed and identify your stress response. Okay, and then try to like use certain techniques to reduce your stress. Is that clear, girls? So that is the first skill. Reduce your stress rapidly. Second skill is beat relationship stress with emotional awareness. Okay, so if you are going to be in a situation where you are angry, or you are sad, or you have a fear or joy, okay, be very very conscious how you are going to express it. Sometimes you cannot numb your feelings. Okay, you cannot say you cannot completely think that you're not stressed and you are not having, I mean, this kind of emotional state in you. Definitely you have to accept your emotions, I already told you. Okay, so you need to accept your emotions. At the same time, you should know how to beat that stress and become emotionally intelligent and try to maintain a good relationship. Is that clear? So we need to be fully understand our own emotional state and try to control our emotions and try to react with people in such a way that it's not going to affect them. Okay, and one more thing, you have to also find out the relationship between your own emotions and you. Okay, Do you experience the feeling that flow? Like for example, sometimes if you are emotionally low, or if you are going to be stressed, different kinds of emotions will keep coming in you. Like for example, you'll continuously feel either very angry, or very fearful, or sad. Like this emotions will keep flowing in you. Okay, so sometimes you'll also have like stomach pain or chest pain, your chest will get very heavy, headache. So all this. Okay, so you might also try to experience anger, fear, joy, whatever. So all these are intense feelings in you. So you need to pay attention to this, but at the same time you should try to control them. Is that clear? So this is about your what to say your beat the relationship stress. Okay, so you need to uh, try to do something. Like for example, you can meditate, okay, in order to overcome this kind of a stress, and try to maintain a better relationship. Then skill 3 is non-verbal communication. Okay, skill 3 is non-verbal communication. So what is this non-verbal communication? It's nothing but your body language. Okay, so your body language is something that also you need to have a control on. Okay, sometimes, yeah, you're emotionally intelligent, you don't want to express your anger or your low state of mind, your fear to others. But then remember, your body language can express the same. Okay, so you have to also control your body language. You cannot say you're completely all right, you're fine, but then your body language is completely expressing the same, is not expressing the same. You are saying all right while your body language is not okay. All right, so see, as far as emotional intelligence of non-verbal communication is concerned, you need to be you need to control your own body language, and also pay attention to others body language. See, first thing is, if you are in an emotional state, you should control your own body language. Supposing the other person opposite to you is in an emotional state, then you should try to identify or find out his body language. Okay, if he is angry, and accordingly you should behave. Do you understand? So focus on that other person. So you will get some kind of clues whether that person is in a good mood or in a bad mood. Make an eye contact. Okay, so eye contact also is something which will help you gauge other people. Okay, so in what mood they are, how to respond to them, how to capture their attention, and pay attention to all the non-verbal clues. Okay, so like sending and receiving, facial expression, the tone of the voice. Okay, the gestures, the touch. Do you understand how he is communicating, conversing? So all this. So you need to maintain your own body language. Along with that, also have an you know thing on others, so that you're also not going to fall a prey for others' emotional state. So that's about skill 3, girls. Now skill 4 is use humor and play to deal with challenge. Yes, emotional intelligence skill 4 is you got to be sometimes humorous also, in order to be emotionally intelligent. Yes. So it is said, so every day night when you're going to sleep, you should try to watch some kind of, comedies, so that it will relax your entire state of mind, relieve your stress, so that you are all fine the next day. When you're going to sleep and wake up, you're going to be all fine for the next day. Okay, so you try to uh, you know take some kind of perspective on laughter, and at hard times try to divert your concentration. Okay, or also express, uh, use some kind of gentle humor often, and help. Say sometimes if you say a certain things in humorous way, it will be taken, rather than telling them out angrily. Do you understand? Then relax and energize yourself, and become more creative. Okay, be with people who are humorous. Try to watch humorous things. Okay, play some games that can be, that can uh, change your mood. Okay, so be with people, be with, sometimes play with animals if you have a pet animal at home. Okay, sometimes I say watching a fish movements also can relieve you of stress and you know your moods, isn't it? So do all such things. Play with babies if you have babies at home. Go play with the babies. Okay, so all this can probably relieve your stress in a humorous way. Okay, then lastly, skill 5, resolve conflicts positively. Okay, so if at all there is some kind of chaoses in a relationship, okay, so some kind of a problem, resolve those conflicts in a very positive way. Try to find out what is the reason for the conflict and stay focused in the present. Choose your arguments, forgive others, and the conflict that cannot be resolved. Okay, so resolving conflicts is very important. I already told you, you cannot work in a situation where there are fights between your employees, or if there is a misunderstanding between your employee, you cannot continue with that kind of a situation. You need to put an end to that particular conflict then and there. Okay, in order to have a smooth running of your work in the organization or at home. You cannot, like, you shouldn't be a person who will not talk to people for days because of a conflict. If you are such a person, then it's going to be very hard for you to hold on to your emotions, or have a peaceful life, a pleasant environment. Is that clear? So always see to it that you will choose your arguments. If you know that you cannot argue with a person and win him or win over, or if that another person is not ready to be convinced with your argument, then stop arguing. There's no need, there's no point in arguing with that person. Even if you want to argue to resolve a conflict and not to make it bigger, then of course forgive. This we always have told you, forgive others. Okay, forgive people for what they have done to you. If you don't forgive them, if you hold on to those grudges, and that's again not going to give you a pleasant what to say life, and end the conflicts that cannot be resolved. Okay, so if you're going on arguing and can go on arguing, that's going to get more and more of conflict. So try not to going on and on with that argument. Stop it, end the conflict then and there. Okay, if you're not able to cope up with that person, stay away from that person. Do you understand, girls? So these are possibly certain ways in which you would be able to inculcate that skill of emotional intelligence in you. So I hope I made all of you understand this entire topic on emotional intelligence. So if at all you have any doubts, you can always ask me. Thank you.